Yeah, so just ending, the Genesis 22 idea, again, the binding of Isaac, thinking that if you want to tie together the story of Abraham and the story of struggle toward faith, you have to, I think, rethink, the binding of Isaac, how it's told, why it's told, and what the effect is. And maybe it is better if you're analyzing things in terms of the struggle for faith to think of the binding of Isaac, which is the closing of the narrative, more or less, that is not so much a redemptive sort of idea, but more of a tragic idea, tragic in the sense of, Greek tragedy, right? Which is a double bind type idea that it doesn't allow you to close things down 100% in either a good way or a bad way. So it's not explicitly bad in terms of trauma. It's not explicitly good in terms of redemption or uh, passing the test or whatever, being rewarded, right? So it's somewhere in the middle, right? And when you keep things in the middle, right, the idea is that, that continues the idea of struggling with faith or thinking through faith. If there's no end to something, if there's no closure, it forces you to keep on dealing with it, okay, and keep on thinking it. So, keep that in mind as a possible idea. Highlights of Genesis 11:36. So I've listed those here, things that you can use. Again, we read but did not discuss the Isaac and Jacob narrative, so I've mentioned some of the high points here. Just looking at the text real quick. Um, so we started with Genesis 11 and we went to Genesis 22 as our primary analysis. So Genesis 11, the call of Abraham. And then the next major things that we looked at were Genesis 17 and 18. So Genesis 17 is the covenant scene. Genesis 18 is the negotiation with God before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And then we looked at Genesis 22. So those were the main elements that we looked at, and those are things that you probably want to use if you're using Genesis or Exam 5. So again, can you make a generative argument for Genesis in the way that we did it in this Gen Ed IH class, right? That's the thing. Can you make an argument for it, right, is what you're trying to do. Okay, well, good luck with that. Hope this helps.